Hello, everybody. Welcome to Streetlight Babble, where we will be doing.
A spoiler review of Baby Driver.
Oh, yeah.
And we got our good old-fashioned spoiler switchblade, so if you are ready for some spoilers and have seen the movie, keep on watching. If you don't care about spoilers, keep on watching. Otherwise, go see the movie and then come back and we'll talk some spoilers.
Yep, skerdoodles. So, Baby Driver, if you've seen our non-spoiler review, you will know that it's very, very, very good.
Very good.
But there are some plot points we wanted to touch on. First off, let's just talk about the relationship with the stepfather, because I really like that relationship.
And I wrote down stepfather, but it's actually his foster father.
Oh, yeah, foster father. He was mute, so every single scene that he
And
was
deaf.
Mute and deaf. Well, I'm guessing he was
deaf.
He was mute because he was deaf.
Yeah.
But they were doing sign language together, and it added this entirely new visual element to their conversation. So it was very much removed from the rest of the movie. You know, the rest of the movie, he's constantly listening to music and hearing people talk, and here it's mostly silent and just
A lot of sign language.
a lot of sign language, and this was very far removed. You know, the silence was kind of in a way comforting. This was home, man.
Exactly. And the relationship between the two actors, you could definitely buy that they had been living together for a while and
Yeah,
they really
yeah.
did care about each other.
They really did care about each other. Even though he couldn't talk, the actor who played the foster father, he did a really good job.
Yeah.
Just through expressive emotions, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed that aspect of the movie. That was one thing I wanted to touch on, and basically we wanted to touch upon also the main plot.
Yes.
The whole thing behind it. It's a pretty unique plot with a few with a few tropes that you regularly find, but they're changed up enough to where it's kind of actually entertaining to watch.
Exactly. So the reason why Baby Driver always listens to music was when he was a lot younger, he got into a really horrible car accident that killed both his parents, hence the foster father, and it gave him a really bad case of tinnitus, so he always constantly has a ringing in his ears. The music that he listens to helps kind of drown that out and puts him into kind of his own little world so he can focus on whatever the task at hand is. Mm-hmm. And you can, one of the cool things, and I also have a little bit of tinnitus, but whenever they didn't have the music playing in the background, there were a couple scenes where you could actually hear the ringing in his ears while he was kind of walking around. Like there was a scene where he had their big job at the end as they're robbing the post office, and
I like how the pacing of the scenes changed depending on the music.
yeah,
They became like sometimes time seemed like it was moving faster. Like his coffee was like prepared in a second, and there was the time where the waitress came around the corner and she was changed in a second, and it was because of the music. And then when there was no music, it was actually the scenes were really, really slowed down. You could feel either the emotion or the intenseness of the scene. And speaking of intense, Jamie Foxx, his character, while not as crazy as I think they wanted it to be, did get rather intimidating. You know, we grew to care about these characters.
Yeah,
and he was threatening them quite a bit.
exactly. He wasn't crazy, like I'm out of my mind crazy, but he was more threatening. Like he was a pretty threatening antagonist, and we'll talk about that in a second. But we kind of skipped over this, and this is my fault. I apologize. So that reason why Baby Driver's working for Kevin Spacey is he stole one of Kevin Spacey's cars, because kid's been stealing cars for a while, and apparently there was a lot of stuff in it. It's implied that I'm pretty sure there was drugs or money, or drug money, or drugs and money.
It doesn't really matter. What matters is that he owes Kevin Spacey, and that's
A lot of money.
And that's why he's been doing these. And after the one last job, Kevin Spacey pulls him back in.
Just when I thought I was out, they bring me back in.
But yes, as I said, every single character, you understand their motivations. He's working with robbers and thieves, kind of the lowest rungs of society. They're not kind. They're not pleasant. Not the whole they're not doing the whole honor amongst thieves, graceful thief thing. You know, they're jackasses. So that's what they're gonna be. But they're all jackasses in their own way.
I think John Hamm was at the beginning was trying to be kind,
Yes.
but there's a turning point, and we'll talk about that in a second.
There is a lot of the beginning built in the end. Well, actually, we'll talk about that right now, because John Hamm, basically, he's the one who connects with Baby Driver the most of all the criminals, and tries to open up to him, and they bond over listening to that one Queen song I mentioned in the last review together, and then they're fighting to that song.
And it gets really intense.
At the very end. And why are they fighting? because Baby Driver turns on all of them because he wants to run away with his love interest, and Kevin Spacey's just keeping him in there. And so he turns on all of them. He kills Jamie Foxx with it by
a hilarious way.
A hilarious way by impaling him. And then that ends up getting John Hamm's the little girlfriend killed. So of course John Hamm is coming for revenge, and that's sort of the final fight. And I like how there were a lot of hints, like before the last job, because he likes to play with toy cars sometimes, and he lets the car go and it runs off a cliff. And
it runs off the edge of the table.
Runs off the edge of the table, and John Hamm, when he dies, his car goes off a cliff, and it just a lot of reincorporation. You can see how the movie's going to end. It's kind of built in the beginning. It's kind of hinting at you. So I feel like this movie would be really great for a second watch.
Oh, totally. I think this movie definitely has repeatability watching. There's that. There's the whole Kevin Spacey at the last, I don't know, 5 minutes that he's in the movie, I feel was... don't get me wrong, I definitely liked him at the beginning, but at the end...
Actually, the most character he got was at the last 5 minutes, where he just kind of sees these two in love, and he decides to help them out.
He's like, yeah, screw it, I'm going to help these kids out.
Yeah, that's just... Yeah, I liked it. I liked that a lot. It just kind of... It depth. He gives his character some depth. He's not just an evil bad guy robber. He understands emotions, and he understands that Baby Driver will stop at nothing to be the best Baby Driver with the freest girlfriend, the best. Yeah. So anything. It's all good. It's what else do you want to talk about?
Well, let's talk about how they tied up all the loose ends. So.
How they tie up all the loose ends, Jake?
Well. That's a good question. So, pretty much everyone in the crew ends up dead, except for Baby Driver. Like you said, Jamie Foxx gets impaled, John Hamm gets pushed off a cliff while they're running away from the cops after a botched attempt at... Well, it wasn't necessarily botched, they still got some of the money. While they were robbing the post office, like you said, John Hamm's girlfriend got shot, and Kevin Spacey got ran over by John Hamm. Basically, there's a cop car that's coming up, and... Kevin Spacey's like, oh crap, alright, I'll hold off the cops, and then Baby Driver's like, that's not the cops.
Well, I do like how all these little actions that he did, so while he was committing these crimes, he was always trying to do nice things, and he was trying to, when he was holding up a woman with her car, he told her that he's sorry and threw her his purse. All these little things that he did that were kind of nice during these crimes, it came back, and everybody was testifying,
doing character testing.
That he's a really nice guy. All of it ended up making sense. It wasn't just to show that he was nice, and it was all reincorporated, and it kind of lightened his prison sentence. He goes to prison, then he goes to with a girl. It was all nice. It was a good happy ending. An Edgar Wright movie where they didn't all die.
Yeah,
I like it. Well, it was nice. Made me feel good.
A lot of tension, though. A lot of tension. That last half hour.
That last half hour was just nothing but a thrill ride of tension. I mean, this is what Fast and Furious should be, because these characters are all just their own little supermen. They're all little archetypes and stereotypes. These characters in Baby Driver were actually real characters with real emotions, real motivations, and because of that, you cared a lot more about them. The actors fizzled away, and there was nothing but the characters and the screen, and it was just all an emotional thrill ride at the end. So go watch Baby Driver.
Go see it. It's a good movie.
It's a good movie. It's nice. Still 9 out of 10. I like it.
Yeah. And Chris is dead. All right. Stay tuned, guys. We got some more movies coming out this week. Spider-Man: Homecoming. Still need to go see War of the Planet of the Apes we might
at the dawn of the beginning of the Planet of the Apes. Yeah.
And there's also Despicable 3.
I don't want to see that. No.
Excuse me.
I don't want to see Despicable 3. Just go. No, it's bad. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be generic. Don't see it. It's gonna be like the last ones. No.
God help us all.